Hello, and welcome to episode 9, I believe, of the Knitting Annihilator podcast. My name is Akira Green Bonner. I will be married for a year this year, so I'm sure I will continue to say all of my names. I'm a Green girl, I'm a Bonner girl. I'm Akira Green Bonner, that's me. I am coming to you from a little town called Adamsville, Alabama. It's right close to Birmingham, and it is really groggy today, so we're gonna make it work. It is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm filming a bit late because my husband was home, so I am spending some time with him while he was home, and he has gone to work, so now is the best time as ever to podcast. You can find me on Ravelry as KiraGreen95 and also on Instagram as knitting_annihilator_. We also have a Ravelry group for the Knitting Annihilator podcast. If you type in Knitting Annihilator podcast, it should come up on a Ravelry. We are knitting annihilators because knitting is our superpower, because we're superheroes, and we are here to change the world one knitted object at a time, so why not? I think that is all for introductions. Today's podcast might be a little short because I don't have a lot to show, and I'll go a little bit more in detail in it as we get through the podcast, but yeah. I think that's it for introductions. Well, you have to talk about this cup though. Okay, so on this cup, I wish I wasn't glaring, but on this cup is one of my sisters, and this cup was given to me by my mom, along with like a big picture of her. She went and had some pictures taken. Oh my god. I love cups, and this is great. So I was really excited to receive that, and in there is juice. I need to go to the store and get more caramel coffee. So it's juice right now. I was actually doing a water challenge that is going here and there. I drink the water, sometimes I don't drink the water. But it's all good. As long as you get some water, it's better than no water. Don't let anybody tell you that. Okay. That is all for introductions. So we will get into some faux babies, some finished objects that I finished. It's about 3 weeks. I usually say about a 2-week podcast. I obviously cannot count because my mom had to tell me that it's been 3 weeks. So, so I'll upload today, and then this week, and then next week. I guess that's 2 weeks, I want to say. Something like that. We'll make it work. Somehow it'll be 2 weeks. And it's a 2-week process. Okay. So finished object number 1 is going to be my KitKat hat from Andy from Andresueknits. I've actually made a plethora of these. If you watch some of my previous podcasts, I actually made 12 hats in like 19 days or something like that. And this was one of the hats that I was making for my in-laws. So once the pussy hat project came about, and they were making cat hats for the marches on yesterday, I was like, well, I have the yarn. It has to have purple in it because I'm always rebellious and I never followed the rules. So there will be purple in it, and then some pink at the top. But yeah, I really love the way it turned out. I gave it a little bit more brim than I'm used to, but that actually made it fit pretty cool. So yeah, so this is my KitKat hat. This yarn right here is lamb strings yarn. You actually saw this last podcast when I made like a little headband to make myself feel better because I've been crocheting the whole time. But yeah, so this is that yarn. It's coming out a bit. Let's get closer. Ooh, okay. So that's the lamb strings yarn from Shayna, who I did just learn that her name is legit Shayna and not Shannon after reading a pattern. But I didn't even want to talk about that. But her name is Shayna of the Strings and More podcast. And this is her yarn. And this pink yarn, I believe that it's Madlintosh. But it was just actually some scrap yarn that I found just laying around in one of my drawers. One of my yarn drawers. So I just took it out and just added it in. So I actually like the way it came out. I actually stitched the two ears in. As I was reading the pattern, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. So for some of the hats that I made for my in-laws, the ears are not stitched in. But I remember to do that this time. It's all good. Stitched in or not stitched in, it's still a really cute hat. So that's all that matters. Okay, I'm actually really hot. So I'm going to take this off. I have on a blood donor shirt. I have recently become a void to give blood, so every time they ask for, us to give blood, I give all the time. So alright, so FO number 2 is my 3-color cashmere shawl by Hohi Locatelli. Oh man, I'm so happy with the way that this turned out. So this yarn, I have a mixture of the purple right here is Lolo Did It, and this is the color Wonka. This is Madlintosh, and I forgot the name of the colorway. And then this is Leslie G Knits, and this is Jamie's yarn from the Strings and More podcast. So like I said in my previous podcast, I will be making a Strings and More accessories. Now I was going to make a sweater, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so Strings and More accessories are coming soon. So this is Strings and More accessory number 1, my 3-color cashmere shawl. And I will be doing the 3-color cashmere cowl by Hohi Locatelli in Shayna's yarn. So really happy with that. It is really pretty. I have not blocked my picot bind off, so that's kind of why it's kind of still curling up at the ends. We have carpet now. This house has carpet. The other house that I was in actually had wood floors, so I was able to take wet things and put them on all the floors. But now you have carpet, so now you're just like, well, how am I going to block things? So I'm going to figure out how to block it, and then once I block it, I'll be able to wear it, and everything won't be all bunched up and things. But I still love it, and I actually still wear it even though the ends are all bunched up and all. But it's really hard to do this in the camera okay, there we go. But I am really happy with the way it turned out. At first I didn't think you would see like all the colors once you put it on, but you actually can, so I'm really happy about that. And yeah, that is all of the finished objects that I have for these past 2 weeks. Alright, so let's go into Whips and Nene's works in progress. So I started on a sweater. It was the Sea Cliff sweater by Shayna from the Strings and More podcast. And as I was knitting it, like my stitch count was just way off, so I wanted to start over. And then I started my fade. And I started over 7 times before I got it right, because I was reading the pattern wrong. I even asked the designer herself what I was doing wrong, and literally what she said was literally in the pattern. So I completely embarrassed myself on that end. So after 7 times of starting over, I told myself maybe I need to go back to monogamous knitting, so that way I can really focus on one project at a time, so that way I get, I come out with good products and I don't make, crappy things. So January and February are going to be my selfish knitting months. So today's the 22nd, so I got through the 31st of this month, and then the 28th of next month will be selfish knitting. So I'll be doing my Find Your Fade, and then also my sweater. It may not be the Sea Cliff sweater, so that's why I just said I'll just do strings and more accessories. And I'm not sure what sweater I'd like to make at this point in time, but right now we're going to be positive and talk about how beautiful my fade is coming along after the 7th time I've started over. And this is actually progress from yesterday going into today. So let's pull it out, because we're just sitting here talking about it, and I know you want to see it, because that's what I scream at the podcast every time the more they talk about it. Like, just put it on the screen. So, alright. So, the Find Your Fade by Andresueknits. I've had a hard time saying that name because sister's last name, Tia and Tamara, their last name is Mallory. So I've always been troubled at saying that name because of dyslexia, because I'm a hot mess. It's okay. So here we go. I'm trying to give me some give so I can show you guys. Alright, so this is what I have so far. My uterus is growing. I think, yeah, I'm at uterus status at this point, because when I was down here, I was at G-string status, but I'm getting uterus from this. So this is what I have so far. This blue color, this is a whole all Lolo Did It fade. So all my yarns are Lolo Did It. This color is blue suede shoes. And I do not know what color this is. I might be able to look it up on my phone, because I really want to tell you. But it is really pretty. So let's see if I can find it. Did I put it in here? I did not. Let's go somewhere else and find it. So just talk amongst yourselves as I look for this. How's your day going? What are you guys knitting on right now? I'm sure you guys are able to knit 10,000 things, as I am only able to hit one. So it seems. So. I don't know about that. That really sad. Okay. That's something else. I'm totally almost there, guys. I promise. I'm looking through emails, so. Simple Man. That is the name of this color. Simple Man. It's got like greens and blues and kind of like brown tones. So Simple Man. That's what this color is. So after Simple Man, here's my little cake. I'm try not to kill your ears with it. There we go. So here's the cake of Simple Man. I make very ugly cakes, but who really cares what cakes look like as long as they taste good? Just saying. Just saying. So after that will come this guy, woman, because this is Pretty Little Zombies. And Pretty Little Zombies was the first speckled Lolo Did It yarn that I ever knit with. I used that for my first mystery knit along with the Periscoping Sisters when I made the 3 Ps in a pod shawl. So I just really love a lot of this Find Your Fade shawl. Really touches me in personal ways. One, because I started over 7 times and didn't give up, so that's number one. And number two, I have my first yarn I ever knitted with, like my first, I'm gonna say expensive yarn, indie dyer, there we go, my first indie dyer yarn that I ever knit with. And then of course Coal Miner's Daughter's in there as well. Coal Miner's Daughter will be the last color in there, and I talk about my dad so much on the podcast. You would think I was married to him, but I have a whole husband, I promise. And I actually have Purple Rain in there too, because my mom and my dad showed me Purple Rain for the first time, I think like a couple of years ago. It was when I was a teenager. I know it wasn't when like I was younger, but it was totally when I was a teenager, and they showed me Purple Rain, and it was the most magical movie ever. So I was like, I totally have to have Purple Rain. So that is my fade. I have the other yarns right here, so I'll grab them and show you. This is not easy. Alright, so after Pretty Little Zombies, I think this says the Dowager Countess, I want to say. So it's going to go to the Countess lady, and then, alright, so you're going to go from this to this, and this is Steel Magnolias. It's kind of on a gray base, and that's when the purples start coming in, because purple is my favorite color and purple is life. That's all I know is purple. And then Purple Rain. Oh, it looks so awesome. I am so excited. And then of course Coal Miner's Daughter, because I am obsessed. And my sweater will also be Coal Miner's Daughter. So after everything is said and done, I pick colors that'll match each other, because I really want to knit things that I know that I'm gonna wear, that makes sense to me. So yes, that's all I've been knitting on. Also, yeah, that is all I've been knitting on pretty much. I'm just going back to the monogamous knitting that I started doing when I first started knitting, so that I can make sure that I'm doing it right and really taking my time and enjoying the knit. I actually was promoted at work, and with this new promotion comes me actually getting an insurance license to handle insurance in different states besides Alabama. So there will be times that I need to study for tests and things like that, and I really want my knitting to be appreciated and not like, oh my gosh, I have to knit this and study and this, that, and the third. More like, okay, I have to study. My reward will be knitting, and I will knit and be happy. Knitting is happiness. Yes. Good job. Alright, so that is all my whips and knitting. Okay. So I know last podcast I talked about doing a get to know me swap with some people, and me and Danielle have already sent our boxes to each other. Hi Danielle. She says she loves hearing her name on my podcast, so yeah, it's probably going to be on every podcast, because she's really a really good friend that I have found throughout the knitting community and things like that. So I really do appreciate her friendship, and it's really, really awesome. So she sent me her get to know me swap, and it was pretty awesome. This is actually my first fade. This is my first fade that I started out with that I did completely wrong, and I will be using this as mini skeins to send out for my next get to know me swap. So I'm going to unravel this, put it in some water, put some weights on the yarn while it's wet, so that way it'll go back to straight yarn. And now wrap it up and send it off to someone. And maybe one of my fun facts will be, I never give up. Sometimes it depends on what it is. Alright, So I won't read the letter, but I will show you the postcard. The postcard is really awesome, and she's from Kentucky. I couldn't find any Alabama postcards, so I had to write her a sweet letter. Hopefully she could read it because my handwriting is atrocious. So in here I have a bunch of wonderful things. I got some minis and my little balls and things. So sorry, because I know this is loud. Because I feel loud. Okay, yeah. So she did send me some minis, and I have not put them in the blanket yet because I wanted to show the podcast first. So now that I've shown you guys, I would totally be putting that in my blanket, and my blanket might be a beginning of the month show, kind of like the Crazy Sock Lady does, where she shows her blanket once a month. I will try to do that as well. Okay, also in here I got some chocolate, and I love chocolate. It's very awesome. And she sent over my first ever Knit Picks Felici. I've actually never worked with this before. I've ordered from Knit Picks before, and I love Knit Picks. They're actually a really affordable yarn, and we're really affordable, and it's super wash merino wool, and like it's really good stuff. So, and this is the color Sprinkles. So she sent me this yarn because I told myself that this year I wanted to make socks, and my plan is to make socks as gifts for my family, and everybody's gonna know that they're getting socks for like Christmas because I don't know what I'm doing, so they're gonna have to try them on. So yeah. So yes, mom, dad, and siblings, you are getting socks for Christmas. You're welcome. I don't know if that's a you're welcome or be afraid, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm trying to get out the best part. Well, this is the best part. The note was the best part, but this is like a really cool part of the package. She sent me a book on how to knit socks. So I don't have any more excuses. I have step-by-step. See, at the back of the book says from choosing yarn and needles to turning heels and making seam-free toes. The illustrated step-by-step instructions will guide you through every part of creating your own beautiful pair of hand-knitted socks. I have to make you guys socks. Danielle sent this, and it will not just sit around. I'm gonna do it. Maybe not in the way that I wanted to, because I had other plans about socks. But I think little goals are good, and then big goals. You should do it that way. So, this is actually the first time I'm looking through it. It looks like it has a lot of... Ooh, okay. It looks like she shows you how to do it, like, with DPNs or 9-inch circulars or magic loop. Oh, I'm excited. Might give this a go after my fade, because I am really focused on the fade, but might give this a go. I wonder if it's... Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so that's what came in my Get to Know Me swap. And I love this. And like some of the minis, I actually remember seeing like on her podcast, on her Instagram, like these right here, I believe it's Lolo did it, and she actually labeled them, which was awesome. I couldn't label mine because I didn't know most of the names, and I didn't want to have some of them with the label and then some of them without a label. But I know these, I think she made this set for like her husband, because he rides bikes or something like that, and my dad rides bikes, and I dabble in the bike riding. So yeah, now I can put those in my blanket. I'm excited. But thank you so much, Danielle. It was really fun to get your package and get to know you. Like I said, if anyone else would like to do the swap, I would love to give it a go and hopefully send out the packages on time. I know my mom was on my behind about sending this package as soon as possible. So, I will try to make sure that if we do swap, I will get it in the mail as quickly as possible. My workplace is 0.2 miles from a post office, so I really don't have any excuses as to getting them out to you guys. So, yeah, I think me and Kalisha have a swap. I gotta get some minis wound for her, and I'll get some out for her. I already have the contents that I want to provide her with. I'm not gonna tell her because I want her to be surprised. So yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I don't think so. Well, we can talk about this. So I'm actually going to put this stitch marker on my fade because it's prettier than the one that I have on there. But yeah, so I guess we're into random thoughts and blabber. Other people call it blabber. I kind of just call it a lot of talk. So the past couple weeks I've been kind of in a knitting slump. But I've come out of it already. Like, I'm working on my fade. The fade is working its way into my heart. So that is all good. And yeah, I'm starting a new position at work. So hopefully that all goes well. And just getting used to being a homeowner. There's a lot of things that people don't tell you about homeowning. So that's pretty much everything that I've been doing. Also, I want to do, besides podcast, I'd love to do other things on my channel, like maybe a knit night, maybe like 5 minutes of me talking about a topic while knitting, and you guys grab some knitting and sit with me and just talk, and maybe I can do background noise while you wash dishes or something like that, because I totally do enjoy podcasts while I wash dishes. So yeah, anyway, that is it for you guys today. If you did like what you see, you can give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, become a part of the alliance on today. And like I said before, we have a Ravelry group, Instagram Ravelry. You can message me anywhere, leave a comment down below letting me know anything, if you have any questions or what you want to see. If you do want to see those knit nights on the channel, that'd be awesome. And yeah, as always, I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful time crafting and knitting and getting everything just crafty going on. Right?